just took on Maxwell here, and welcome to another episode on the Parfect journey. It is the 7th of May, it is Saturday, and it's time for us to go on another speed bump on the way on this Parfect journey, because let's be honest, there's been so many speed bumps, wrong turns and whatnot so far in this journey, but well, it's making it a hell of a ride. So we're doing okay now, we're not bottom, we're 11th, so we're in the relegation playoff spot. We have a massive game against Hamilton today, which is the team above us. A win would take us above them and into 10th place. However, it's the same as it's always been. If we can get that little run of consistency, we could be sitting just out mid-table, 7th, 8th, 9th. We just need a couple of games that are winnable back-to-back. And that's what I feel is coming up with a trip to Hamilton, a trip to Partick, and the St Johnstone home game. It gets a bit more difficult over Christmas. Celtic, Hibernian, Dundee away, Aberdeen at home, all difficult fixtures. As you can see here, since your last join is obviously Ross County, it was a great home performance victory. We had a really difficult game after that, which was of course Falkirk, but it was a winnable game, and we did win that. Templeton scoring for them before Duncan Watmore, and 2 own goals from Kyle Benedictus and Luke Leahy. The important thing for that was it was 2 wins back to back, it was a good run of momentum. It gives that little gap between us and them. They have since won a game, we haven't, but it's been 2 very difficult games we've had since then. Rangers visited us, and I don't think we're terrible, we're just very poor when it came to set plays. Rangers scored at least twice from corners, so they took lead through Roman Sawyers. Michael O'Haron made it 2-0. Pindau gave us a little glimmer of hope, thinking we've got a chance before 2 Harris Cowan Hall goals within 3 minutes pretty much killed us off. For half time, then took on Hearts at Tynecastle. I've been known to play wing backs, and it was basically one winger gets in behind one wing back, William Tomlinson gets in behind the other wing back, and they put it in the back of the net with a back post finish. But of course, that's obviously been heard a lot of this year. Back post crosses have been the constant bane of so many people in this FM lifespan. So we've made a few tactical alterations. We're now going to be playing fullbacks, as I've said. We're going to try and bring Lewis Milne back in. We're going to give Tom Lawrence a rest. We also have a few new signings. It's more so for players that I feel that could be good development players, and if we can get them to a decent level, hopefully we can sell them on. So Declan Graham is going to join us on the 2nd of January. Doesn't look amazing, but decent reports said he could be a 4-star player. Could be a Ladbrokes Premier League right back in the future. He's coming from Finn Harp, so he's not going to cost us a lot. Stats don't look great, as I say, but a couple of decent physicals. There's a few decent mentals there. If you can get a couple of those technicals to a decent standard, then hopefully they should be fine. Apart from that, we've brought in Christopher Nkunku. He's from the DR Congo. Again, you can see there's some stats there that are a bit poor, but some that can definitely lead to becoming a decent player. Maybe lacks a bit of physical strength, but decent pace, decent acceleration, good teamwork, I'm liking that. A couple other good mentals there, good first touch, long shots are decent. If we can work more on the passing, a bit more on the tackling, hopefully just make him a proper decent central midfielder that can, we can really turn him into a nice little playmaker going forward. Ojer Hermansen is in. Was recommended after I decided to bring some scouts in as well. I felt our scouting department was lacking, so now we've got 4 scouts, a couple from the likes of Finland and stuff. That's how places like players from Iceland have appeared in our reports. As you can see here, he tackles well, marking's good for this level, and same with heading. Passing at 12 is not too bad, so we might make him a ball playing centre half. Mental things again, if you can work on the likes of his bravery, concentration, composure, could have yourself a decent centre back. Leadership 12, positioning 12. These are the kind of stats you're looking for in the Ladbrokes Premiership. If he was to go further in his career, he would definitely need to develop. But if we can develop him on, it's 115k value, you're hoping then you can maybe sell him for 300, 400k, which helps balance the books, and then you're sorted. Physically, maybe lacks a bit of stamina, but apart from that, and the natural fitness, everything seems to be decent level for what we're looking for. Isn't match fit, so he won't be playing today. And the last one is Amin Enali, Moroccan that was offered to us again. You look at him and go, well, he's meh. But good dribbling, the first touch is there, long shots is there, good technique, he's a flair player. Again, if you can work a little bit in a couple of mentals, maybe improve a little bit of technical skills, maybe improve on his crossing or on his passing. Right now he's really just a guy that can dribble by people. And maybe work a bit on his strength, because that's only at 4. Again, someone we've brought in, small wage, help him develop, we'll loan him out. If he doesn't make the grade, so be it. If he does, maybe someone we can look to punt on for profit. As I say, 4-star again. So if we can get him to that championship player at the moment, but it says we could get him to a Premier League player. Just depends how he develops. So with further ado, we'll jump into the game. As I say, it is Hamilton Academicals away, 10th versus 11th. We'll see how it goes. If we're really struggling, we'll make some alterations. I'm really considering just making it a 4-1-3-2. Maybe even possibly sacrificing a striker if it comes to worse. But we'll have a look and see who they've got. So Xander Clark in goals. Is that Paul Quinn? Paul Quinn's playing for them at right back, so that's a good sign in there. Likes James Forrest as well, has ended up there. Is that Scott Robinson? So Scott Robinson, the former Hearts and Kilmarnock central midfielder. They've acquired him. Liam Caddis in there. Not too familiar with the strikers. Ian Wood is a good young prospect they've obviously brought through the new gen, so he could cause some problems. And Kuemba, he looks like a very shrewd piece of business. They've brought him in from... starts off as a free agent. Either starts off as a free agent in the game or at Lille in their youth academy. Went to Sheffield United, done okay there. Hamilton paid money for him and he's done the job there. People look out for on the bench. Blair Alston, amazing that he's a bench player in this. I've seen him be like a top player for Aberdeen. Lewis Stevenson in there, Mark McNulty will get you goals. So they've definitely got players that I'd definitely take at this club. It's just a fact that they're a Premier League side, so they can afford them more than we've been able to. But we'll see how we do. We'll just sit in the counter at the moment because we're away from home. I don't want to be attacking too much, and then before we know it, we're way behind. But here's Millen, looking for Pendao. Dropped a little bit deep there, but hopefully can keep the ball. Davidson. Lewis Millen looks for Duncan Watmore, but a good interception there by the defender. And here's James Forrest. Now, for some reason, he just doesn't get the games in this FM, so he really just doesn't develop, and that's how you'll see him at clubs like Hamilton and such. Unlike in real life, where it looks like he's probably going to go to the Championship. Pendao's in, and it's a good save from Xander Clark, the former St Johnstone goalkeeper. So, decent start to the game. We're causing them a couple of problems, put them under a bit of pressure. It's really up to us to maintain it. It's all good if you get a great start, but you know you can dominate a game for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever. If you're 1-0 down, that means nothing. You've literally done nothing. They started to come back into it, 20 minutes in. Everybody's looking at about a 6.9, so it's a very average performance from everyone. No real standouts. Duncan Watmore being caught offside. Is this going to be another set piece to cost us problems? Nope. Here's Davidson. He can get this ball to the striker. He's played it inside to Dembele, out to McDonald. Lewis Millen. Dembele, McDonald. Nice little triangle there, and it's a ball looking for Pendao. Well dealt with by Kirkins. McDonald. Dembele, Millen, Pendao. That's what we need. That is exactly what we need. Fabio Pendao, his 9th goal of the season. That is why his loan deal was renewed. Perfect there, right through the middle of the team. Dembele to Millen. That's why he was brought in instead of Tom Lawrence, and he passes it in for Pendao to put it in to the back of the net. So good start there. A massive lead here if we can get the win. As I say, it would be great for us. There's Millen with a chance, and he's made it 2-0. Great ball in there from the fullback, Kipwaka, and it's just landed perfectly on the head of Lewis Millen, and his header into the bottom corner. You give Xander Clark absolutely no chance with a header like that, and that puts us firmly in pole position in this game. If we don't bottle this, this is massive. So can we hold on a 2-0 lead at half time? That is the question. It's going to be very interesting here. Ball in. And I warned about him at the start of the game. And it is Kevin Kuemba, again with a goal. Absolutely spectacular from him. Good ball in there from Tiberi. And he just out jumps Mango. I'd say maybe at centre back we're struggling a little bit. We don't quite have the quality we should be having at this level. That may be something we look to rectify in the January window. But good header there. Really can't complain. We'll just say that guys don't get complacent, because Accies are going to come in here. They're really going to attack us. It's up to us to try and, oh wow, not get split open within 13 seconds, which we just have. So Kevin Kubemba there, an absolutely phenomenal ball there from Forrest. I don't know what you can do about that. That is a great ball there. And Kubemba puts it in the back of the net. That lead was short-lived. So I'm just going to change it to stand-up. I do feel they're going to keep putting pressure on us. I think we're going to look to make a change. Probably 65. Just wait till it gets to 65. That's when we'll make a change. So Watmore's going to come off. He'll be replaced by Chabi. Sean McDonald not having a great game, so it will be Tom Lawrence for him. Davidson will go as a ball winner. Milne is a box-to-box. And Tom Lawrence will go in that advanced playmaker position. So hopefully he can maybe contribute a little bit better coming off the bench. We've got one more change. We'll see how the game pans out first. But here's Lawrence for Lewis Milne. Davidson's got options. Goes back to Milne. Keeping it very narrow. It's a great ball from Milne for Chabi. And that is why Lewis Milne is in this team. He is honestly one of those guys that is just the difference between us getting relegated and relegated and staying up, sorry. What a ball that is. That is perfectly weighted right into Chabi. And the super sub puts it in the back of the net. Lewis Milne could be the game changer. Might even look to play him in that deeper position if that's the kind of role we can get from him. Now going to sit in defensive and hope we can hold on. And we concede from another set play. Dunfermline things. Ball in from Tiberi, the header from Brophy, and that makes it 3-3. As I said, defence just isn't at the right level, but he gets away from Mango again. That's 2 goals. Mango's lost his man. I think we might be looking to see the introduction of someone else going forward. I think we're just going to attack as well. I think we'll try and see if we can bring a sub on. Oh, La Fuente could be an option. Going to take off Lewis Milne because he's a bit fatigued. Paul La Fuente. We'll try and play Tom Lawrence in central midfield. May not work, but hoping the energy can help us. Apparently La Fuente isn't fully fit, so that hasn't helped either. It looks like it is going to be a draw. That ball by Gillespie confirms it's going to be a draw, so not excellent. Definitely a lot of things we can work on. Definitely a lot of players that can improve. But we'll say to the guys, you didn't lose. We'll keep morale high, keep things positive within the camp. Again, if we can start pulling up a couple of victories, we could be looking, we're only 4 points behind Hibs, we're only 6 points behind Dundee. Equally, we're only 3 points ahead of Dunfermline, but I just think if we can rack up some victories, hopefully, we can start to pull our way up the table. Just look here, goals galore, and the only other thing I can really add before we end the video is we have been drawn at home to Queen of the South in the Scottish Cup 4th round. As I say, it is a lot of difficult games which could define our season before then. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I say hopefully we can get a couple of wins on the board. It's a difficult run coming up, so don't be surprised if the next time you join us we could be looking at being in the relegation zone. I say thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a wee thumbs up. If you get any comments on the series, if there's any players you'd like me to look out in the save, I can try and see how they're getting on. Let me know. Until next time, this is 21 Maxwell. Hopefully not hitting another speed bump on the way to having the perfect journey. Take it easy, guys, and bye-bye.